Increase your financial IQ. Chapter 8. The integrity of money. Integrity is an interesting word. I have heard it used in many different ways and many different contexts. I believe it is one of the more misused, confused, and abused words in the English language. Many times I have heard someone says he has no integrity, or if they had any integrity, they would be more successful. Someone else might say that house has integrity of design. Before discussing the integrity of money, I think it's best I give my definition of integrity. Webster's offer three definitions for integrity. They are soundness and unimpaired condition, incorruptibility, firm adherence to a code of specially moral or artistic values, completeness, the quality or state of being complete or undivided, the integrity of a car. All three definitions are required to discuss money and integrity. To better illustrate, I use the example of the integrity of an automobile. An automobile is made up of systems: the brake system, fuel system, electrical system, hydraulic system, and so on. If the systems are not operating in integrity, the car will not function. It will not be sound. For example, if the fuel system is corrupted, the entire car stops. The integrity of the car is compromised and broken. The car is not whole. The integrity of wealth, health, and wealth. A similar example can be made with the human body. Some of the systems of the body are the arterial system, respiratory system, nervous system, skeletal system, digestive system, and so on. If the integrity of the human body system is not sound, corrupted, or with clogged arteries, for instance, health declines and disease or death soon follows. Just as health can break down from a literal lack of integrity, so can wealth be compromised by a lack of integrity. Instead of disease or death, which comes from a breakdown in the body's integrity, symptoms of a lack of financial integrity are low income, crippling taxes, high expenses, excessive debt, bankruptcy, foreclosure, increased crime, violence, sadness, and despair. Earlier, I listed 5 different financial intelligences, so once again, they are making more money, protecting your money, budgeting your money, leveraging your money, improving your financial information. The integrity of all 5 intelligences is required if a person wants to grow rich, stay rich, and pass this on her wealth on for generations. Missing one or more of the financial intelligences is like someone who does not know how to drive attempting to drive a car that has brakes without pads and water in the gas line. When a person is struggling financially, one or more of these financial intelligences is out of whack. Financial integrity is not sound and the person is not complete. For example, I have a friend who earns a lot of money as a manager of a small business. Her problem is she has no protection against taxes. Plus, she does not budget well, spends impulsively to buy clothes and take vacations. Her leverage is a big home because she thinks real estate only goes up in price. She gets her financial advice from her husband and his financial planner. Her husband is a great guy, but like his wife, he has similar challenges with all 5 financial intelligences. They are nice people, educated, honest, church-going, and hardworking. They enjoy life and raise great kids. The problem is a lack of financial integrity. This lack of financial integrity shows up as worry about borrowing the equity out of their home to pay off credit card bills, affording a college education for their 3 kids, and having enough for retirement. These are typical money problems, symptoms of a lack of financial integrity. The problem is they don't think they have a problem. They get up every day, send the kids off to school, and go to work. They come home, play with kids, help them with their homework, watch a little TV, and go to bed. They know something is wrong, but they had rather not find out what. They're hoping something will change. Financial report card. Like most people, my friends don't have financial statements, personal financial statements. They don't even know what financial statements are or why they are important. Like most college graduates, my friends left school not knowing the difference between a credit application, a credit score, and a financial statement. Without a personal financial statement, however, they do not know where they are financially, what might be wrong, and where they might be out of financial integrity. Without a financial statement and the five financial intelligences, it may be difficult to determine what is wrong and what needs to be corrected. In my opinion, this is where the lack of integrity begins. It begins in our school system with the Financial IQ 5, improving your financial information. In 1974, when businesses began requiring employees to invest for their retirement, the school system should have added or improved financial education in the curriculum. This lack of financial education in our schools is sending shock waves through the financial integrity of the world. A reflection of financial integrity. As my rich dad said, my banker has never asked me for my report card. The reason bankers don't ask for an academic report card is because they are looking for financial intelligence, not academic intelligence. This is why they ask for a financial statement. A financial statement is a reflection of your financial integrity. It is the equivalence of your financial report card. Bankers are looking for answers that relate to the five financial intelligences. Obviously, they want to know how smart people are at making money, protecting money, budgeting their money, leveraging their money, and how informed they are. A financial statement will give the bank the information it is looking for. Out of financial integrity. If a person is out of financial integrity as shown by excessive debt, not budgeting well, spending more than he or she earns, foreclosures and bankruptcies, the banker will probably not want this person as a client. This is a matter of professional integrity. In 2007, with the crash of the credit markets, it became obvious that the credit, banking, and investment institutions have been out of financial integrity. Greed replaced sound lending practices. The economy cannot expand on credit alone. By failing to teach much about money and to expand financial intelligence in school, the system creates adults who are unprepared for our brave new world. Billions of adults across the planet do not have a financial statement, cannot read a business financial statement, and do not know the financial condition of their current country. This is a breakdown in educational integrity. Intrinsic value. Warren Buffett doesn't diversify. Instead, he look for a company with intrinsic value, a company with financial integrity. He wants to know if the business has the five financial intelligences. In overly simplified terms, Buffett wants the answers to the following questions. Can the business make more money? Does the business have a protected niche? Does the business budget its money and resources well? Can the business be leveraged and expanded? Is it run by a team of smart, well-informed people? In even simpler terms, intrinsic value means number one, niche. This means the business has a core competence, something that will make more money in good times and bad. Coca-Cola fits this requirement. People will always drink sugared water regardless if plain water is better for them. A big advantage Coca-Cola has is its trademark, which is protected by law. You may recall that financial intelligence number 2 is protection. In this case, Warren likes this product because it's a product that is legally protected brand, not just a commodity. A well-recognized brand protected and defended from pirates increases Coca-Cola's intrinsic value. The brand Rich Dad is a trademark protected by law in every country we do business in. Being a brand gives my business greater intrinsic value. Many authors write books but fail to build a brand. As you know, Harry Potter is a mega brand. So is Donald Trump. If you are not a brand, you are a commodity. Brands have more intrinsic value, and to maintain this value, a brand must be true to its message and customers. A few years ago, a large mutual fund company approached me and asked me if I would endorse its fund. Although the fee it would have paid me was very high, I turned the offer down. In my mind, endorsing a mutual fund would not be true to the Rich Dad brand. To me, it would have shown a lack of integrity, which would diminishes the brand's intrinsic value. Besides, I couldn't do it with a straight face. Number two, leverage. This point separates the small business owners from the big business owners. For example, if I am a doctor, it is hard for me to leverage my value if my patients come only to see me. But if that same doctor invented a new cure or kind of medicine, then that doctor's medical intelligence can be leveraged via a product. The world is filled with small business owners and professionals who are not able to leverage because they are the product. Most employees fall into this category. They do not know how to leverage their services and trade time for dollars. Most of us know musicians who work hard but do not earn much simply because they fail to leverage their talents. The world is filled with musicians who produce a CD, which is a form of leverage, but are not able to leverage the distribution and sales of their CD. This is why amateur programs such as American Idol are so popular. People who think they can sing want the leverage of national television even if Simon criticizes them. Number three, expandability. Once a product or business can be leveraged, the next question Warren wants to know is how far can the leverage be expanded. Warren loves Coca-Cola because its leverage is expandable throughout the world. Warren says every time someone in the world drinks a Coke, I make a little money. When I wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, the book was my leverage. Instead of my teaching in person, my book and my games could now do the teaching. The next task was to expand the product into different countries by printing the books and games in different languages. This was done by licensing the rights to produce Rich Dad products to businesses in different parts of the world. Instead of having my company print inventory and distribute my products, there are now publishers in 109 countries that do that for me. This is my example of leverage and then expandability. Number four, predictability. What Buffett wants to know is how predictable revenue is. He doesn't want peaks and valleys in income. He wants to know that come rain or shine, the money will come in like clockwork. One of the reasons I love my apartment houses in that rain or shine, the money comes in. I'm not worried about the price of real estate going up or coming down. I want my money coming in 24/7 from all over the world and from my apartment houses. That is why Warren Buffett doesn't diversify. Instead, he focuses on a business's intrinsic value. Recognizing intrinsic value requires the financial intelligences. When a business has intrinsic value, the business has integrity. When a business has integrity, it has a better chance to grow and remain profitable regardless of changing economic conditions. Before investing in a company, a professional investor looks at the business financial statement. The financial investor is looking for business integrity. The same is true when a real estate investor buys an apartment house. Knowing about the internal rate of return, IRR, is intrinsic value applied to real estate. The problem for most people due to lack of financial education in school are not being able to read a financial statement is that they don't know if the company on real estate they are investing in has financial integrity and intrinsic value. The language of business. Warren Buffett says accounting is the language of business. If you do not know the language, it's hard to tell if the business has integrity. The reasons Rich Dad company produces our cash flow game for adults and children is because we strongly believe that financial intelligence and being able to speak the language of business are crucial in the world of greed and questionable integrity. Government financial integrity. Governments also require the five financial intelligences. Governments need to make more money, protect their money, budget their money, leverage their money, and seek the best financial information. If a government operates in integrity, the government and its people flourish. If a government is out of integrity, the government and its people struggle and grow poorer. High taxes and excessive debt are signs that the government is struggling with financial integrity. In 1971, when Nixon took the US off the gold standard and got the world to accept our currency as a reserve currency of the world, the US went out of financial integrity. Today, rather than being the richest country in the world, we are the biggest debtor nation in the world. While many people have become very rich because of this change in the rules of money, me included, millions more have fallen behind financially. The financial gap is growing wider and become dangerous. The problem for America began at Financial Intelligence 3, budgeting your money. When America began to import more than it exported, we changed the rules of money and began accumulating trillions of dollars of debt instead of solving the problem, which would have been the intelligent thing to do. When looking at Financial Intelligence number 4, it becomes apparent the US government does not leverage money. Instead, it leveraged debt. Today, the richest people in the world are in debt to the poorest people in the world. Talk about being out of integrity. The US went out of financial integrity when it asked the world to accept a dollar backed by the full faith and credit of the US government. No one likes investing in the US and seeing the value of the dollar drop. When the world demands the money back, it will be financial intelligence number 2, protecting from predators, that will be tested. I believe that the US will become a giant predator, possibly defaulting on some of its loans and its promises to senior citizens for healthcare and social security. It will allow inflation to destroy workers' earnings and raise taxes on the young. To me, this is out of integrity. The current way for the US government to increase financial intelligence number 1, making more money, is by raising taxes, printing more money, borrowing more money, fighting a new war, and not paying a few bills. Obviously, this will cause many more financial problems which could have been avoided if the earliest problems have been solved in the first place. The age of integrity. History does repeat. Our leaders and educators have been aware of what happens when governments violate the integrity of money. This has happened before. Copernicus in 1517 wrote that inflation was one of the scourges that debilitate kingdoms. In 1776, Adam Smith said inflation causes the most pernicious subversion of the fortunes of private people. Smith's warning came true more recently in Germany when Hitler rose to power. When the Weimar government subverted the integrity of its currency. The only reason the US and the world public isn't finding out about the difference between money and currency is because our school systems simply are out of educational integrity, failing to produce a financially literate populates. Personally, I believe as we as a people, our nation, and the world, we are all heading for a perfect storm. After being out of integrity for so long, I believe the financial, political, environmental, and spiritual forces will demand that the pendulum swing in the other direction. Exactly what will happen, I do not know. It may have already started. Unfortunately, the super rich, those who benefit the most from the current system, will be least affected by the coming financial upheavals. It is the rest of us that will feel the forces of nature and be required to do our best to battle the storm, and the poor will suffer the most. The good news is that the problems ahead will make us smarter if we take them on with courage and do not run from them. Instead, every problem is a gem of wisdom, a gem that makes us smarter, stronger, and able to do better regardless of economic conditions. Even more good news is that a few national governments are beginning to implement financial education courses into their educational systems. I predict that the country that has the best financial education will lead the world into a new era of economic prosperity. After all, this is the information age. Increase your intrinsic value. In the meantime, it is important for each of us to prepare for the potential storm ahead. My recommendations are: put your house in order. Just like a sailor preparing his boat for a storm, start making your financial boat more seaworthy. Take a look at the 5 financial intelligences and ask yourself which intelligence you need to work on now. While one needs the most, which one needs the most work? Which one is your biggest problem? Focus on that one and address it now. Do not attempt to take all the 5 on at once. That will be very overwhelming. I believe you will find that all 5 are related. So by focusing on one, you will be ultimately improve all 5 intelligences. Then take your time learning a little every day. Always remember, no golfer became a professional in one day, not even Tiger Woods. By increasing your 5 financial intelligences, you are increasing your financial integrity and your own intrinsic value. If you are not sure what to do, please do not be afraid or ashamed to ask for help. In the next chapter on finding your financial genius, I wrote about how much I depend upon smart people for help. No one is above needing help. In number 2, invest in assets with intrinsic value. Take another look at some of the criteria Warren Buffett uses to establish a business's intrinsic value. Then for practice, start asking yourself which businesses around you meet the requirement. Even if you do not invest, this is a great exercise for increasing your financial IQ. Intrinsic value of real estate. One of the reasons I like real estate is because I am able to see, touch, and control much of the property's intrinsic value. But always remember, most of real estate is not a good investment. A great exercise, regardless if you have money, is to look to a number of properties and analyze their intrinsic value. One of the beauties of real estate is creativity. For example, I can use creative financing, creative improvements, or creative ways to increase the value of the property. Creativity is not as much as advantage when picking a stock or buying mutual funds, but in real estate, creativity plus integrity can make you very rich. Number 3, batten down the hatches. As they taught us at the US Merchant Marine Academy, when a storm approaches, it is time to batten down the hatches. This means to protect the integrity of the ship. In my few years of going to sea, I had the opportunity to sail through 4 typhoons in the Pacific. Today I can see monstrous waves, a mountain of water crashing over the entire ship. I can see, feel, and hear the ship creaking and straining, doing its best to maintain structural integrity and come out from under the wave. I am glad the engineers designed a great ship and that the ship's crew was trained and ready to take on the storms. Chaos is going to increase as the industrial age ends and the information age takes control. As oil goes up in price, the dollar drops. China and India start producing cars and planes. Manufacturing jobs disappear. Corporations move offshore. Baby boomers expect to be taken care of by the government. Terrorism increases. Wars we cannot afford are fought, and the debt that has to be repaid is increased. Problems previously swept under the rug will be exposed. In the information age, information such as the 5 financial intelligences will be your greatest asset. I believe the financial integrity of the world is going to be challenged as never before in history. I believe this because there has been too much greed, misinformation, and corruption running our businesses, governments, and schools. In August of 2007, when the credit markets crashed, I believe we were touching the raged outer limits of the brewing storm. The eye of the storm is still a few years away. Take this time to prepare for the ride of your life. Be brave and get smart because it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great time to become even richer and become even smarter. But you have got to be brave, and you have got to develop your financial genius.